Hello, and welcome to my first podcast. Dear Mira, it makes me so happy to sit here with you in the studio today. You are a mindset coach, podcaster, and influencer, originally from Serbia, 30 years old, and have already experienced a lot. Tell us more about you.
Oh, thank you, Lily. I'm so happy to be here today. What should I say? Yes, I am a mindset coach. Yes, I am a podcaster. I'm also an influencer. I have my own granola on the market, and I'm a very positive and very active human being.
We know
That's how I would describe myself.
That's beautiful. We know each other from childhood.
Yes, we grew up together.
Yeah, and I remember two situations. I was very bad at mathematics, and you were always telling me, drink orange juice. You can do it.
I said that?
Yeah.
I wanted you to be on a high sugar level, for sure.
You always told me, you can do this. And you had very high degrees. And I remember that you are a very encouraging person. I can see that you are a very real person because in my childhood, I remember that you were someone that encouraged me a lot.
Oh, thank you.
And the second thing is we had both.
What? Tell me.
We had something on our feet, a misbuilding.
Don't tell me, the toe.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Both of us. And I told you about this and I had told nobody because I was so afraid what people think of me.
Yeah.
And you told me, Lily, we are going to buy a shoe that is beautiful and we're going to wear it together.
Yes.
So this is so you. You are such an encourager. You're such a positive person.
Thank you so much, Lily.
Yeah.
I didn't remember this situation, but it's so beautiful that you just reminded me of these meaningful situations from the past.
Yeah.
So you never know who's going to stay with you in your future and what situation can still bring some light to a story, right?
Yeah, that's true. So I wanted to tell this.
Thank you.
And I didn't tell you, this is a surprise. I want you to take us with you to milestones in your life.
To milestones. Oh, where should I start? Well, my podcast is the Road to Success by Mira. As it says by itself, it was a lot of work, with a lot of ups and downs. It was like a road that I'm still on. And I really love these roads because there are obstacles and sometimes I feel like I'm flying, sometimes I'm crawling. It always depends on the situation, but I never give up,
Yeah.
And my milestones were confronting myself with my dreams and visions, but not taking actions.
Yeah.
These are the milestones of my life, and every time I had one of these situations where I'm like, why do I feel stuck? And I'm like, okay, what is the obstacle and how would I feel if I overcome the obstacle?
Yeah.
And this is the vision that I always hold in every situation.
Okay, tell us about an obstacle in your life.
Well, an obstacle in my life was that I was in a very long relationship. My first relationship was 12 years. And I filed for divorce. And I also had a divorce party. but
Really?
Yes. For a lot of people, it was crazy to see that. But I had a divorce party because I was celebrating the person I've become through the process. I gained a lot of strength, a lot of knowledge, a lot of self-esteem and self-love. And I think that this is a reason to celebrate life.
Yeah.
That's not something that's dying and something is growing.
Wow, I never heard this before.
Yeah, but I wish other people would see it from my perspective because I got a lot of criticism when I also posted it on social media. Actually, I didn't post it, but my friends did and my sister, where I'm like, why did you do this?
Why?
Because they were happy for me. But I thought, what if the media sees it? They're gonna give me a shitstorm. What actually also happened for some people. And now looking back, I would do the same thing again because everything deserves to be celebrated. Every success and also every pain. And you can only bring it to light when you give it energy to,
You said your sister and your friends were very happy for you. What was the reason they were happy for you?
Oh, very good question, Lily. Is that for sure your first podcast?
Yeah, it is.
That's a deep question. Yeah. And it's deep because there is also a good answer to it. They've seen me growing and suffering. These are the closest people who were, let's say, okay, I didn't involve them in every situation of my life. I didn't tell them everything that I felt and went through. Yeah. But the pieces that I wanted them to know, they could only judge by the pieces I gave them at this time.
Yeah.
So the pain that they could see through my eyes and through I went through, they knew, oh, this deserves to be celebrated.
You said I suffered a lot. And I know that there are a lot of women, they suffer. So I want you to take us with you on a journey. What do you mean by suffering?
I dated very young, so I was 15 when I met my ex-husband. But, he's not the reason that I was not able to find myself. Of course, it was a decision to follow him, to go on his journey, to fully dedicate myself to his life,
Yeah.
But then it clicked, like, who am I? And what do I want?
Yeah.
And this was the big obstacle that I was going through. I know that there are a lot of marriages and relationships where they have like physical abusement and everything. Yeah. But for me, it was something that I could not sleep if I am not fulfilling my inner dreams and visions. And this is probably the whole topic of this podcast. Like when you dream big and you feel stuck, like what is the obstacle?
Yeah.
And why do you feel this way? Because on the other side, something is waiting for you.
Yeah.
And everything I created now in 2023 is only possible because I did all these choices and decisions 3 years ago. But it started in a very young age because I decided with only one decision which way I want to go. And I never made decisions for myself.
Okay.
Because when you're in a marriage, you decide together or you decide for what is like more convenient, but never what is the harder way for someone who wants to also chase their own dreams.
Yes. You said that you suffered. And you mentioned emotional abuse and physical abuse. Would you say that you was being abused?
I wouldn't say I was abused, not at all, because I had the freedom to create myself.
Yeah.
But I know that there are a lot of relationships that are not very privileged as I had it in my previous relationship.
Okay.
And for these women, I think it's very important that we can give them hope and inspiration also through this work that you're doing now, that they know that even if this is happening at home, there is always a way out.
Yes. Yes. Why do you think so many women are stuck in such relationships?
Self-esteem.
Really?
Yeah. Low self-esteem. Yeah. They don't believe that something is possible for them because they think that they have to be the doormat at home. It is the doormat. Like, yeah, I can take it. Yes, but give me some more weights because I can carry it on my shoulders.
Yeah.
But why don't you be like more, I'm a woman. No, not this way. I want to have it this way.
Yeah.
And treat me like a queen. Yeah. I know my value. I'm not going to crawl after you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be in their feminine energy. I think that this is very important, not only in a love relationship, but also in a relationship with yourself. Once a woman finds herself,
she's unstoppable.
And unpredictable. Yeah.
That's so true. Why do you think that so many women cannot do this step that you did? Like go out and say, I will find myself.
Because it starts at home. Yeah. How was your childhood? Who was your role model? What did your mom do back then? Was your mom a woman who always said yes to everything? Or was she a fighter?
Yeah.
And when you analyze and reflect your childhood, you will understand yourself a lot better.
Yeah. And was it a decision you took overnight, or did you struggle before taking this decision?
No, I struggled. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. I went to my gym workout sessions and I was crying all the time because I'm like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? Like, God, help me. And help is also a prayer, know? Yeah. But it was more like, you have this, how do you call that? Like this inner calling that is so big, and this voice would not lower down. So it was always present. Like you have to change something.
Yeah.
And no one likes change. Yeah, everyone tries to stay the same way because it's comfortable.
Yes.
But when this inner calling is so strong, the only way to calm it down is to take actions. And that was actually the breakthrough. Once I communicated that I want to live a different life and that I would like to file for divorce, that was, I'm sorry to say, but one of the happiest days of my life.
It's okay.
Because of course I feel sorry.
Yeah.
But I love myself that much to know that it's time to go.
Yeah, and you deserve more.
Of course. And it's not because I hate this person, it's because I love myself and I also love this person so much that you deserve better. Someone who's going to stay with you, someone who's going to follow you, who's going to be the perfect wife for you. But I'm not longer this person. And I don't want to be this person because life is too short and I want to know what is the next step? Where can I go and what can I become?
Yeah. Do you regret getting married so young?
No, because it's very important for my life story.
Yeah.
And that's why you're also doing this podcast. You want to share these stories, right? There is never a right or wrong. It's only wrong when you know that something is right, but you do the wrong thing. Then it's wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I always was led through my feelings. And I think that looking back, the biggest teacher in my life was my ex. And I love him. I love him so much for everything he taught me. Aww. Through him, I gained self-esteem because I knew what I want and what I don't want. And he was like, he was so important. Yeah. I would love to tell him how much I love him for teaching me so many things, like discipline, routines, structure. Yeah. It's very extreme, but because he's also very athletic. So he's professional soccer player. And of course, these routines that he applied in his life taught me that I need to have routines in my life. So I also believe you have to know what is the purpose of a relationship and who is teaching, like how do you teach each other with meaningful information and personalities as well. Yeah.
Would you say you suffered with depression?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But that is a complete other story that is also very deep. And I can't go into this story too deep because of respect of my old relationship. But what I can tell is that I suffered and I was 48 kilos. I didn't feel beautiful. And that all happened because I was in a low self-esteem.
Okay. Yeah.
And this strength that I have today, looking back, I would take Mira's hand, like my younger self, and be like, you will get over it. Don't worry. You're on the right path. Yes. Because that situation led to mindset coachings. Yeah. So I was in pain, looking for answers. And then I read the book, The Secret. That's how everything started. Okay. I read the book, The Secret. And through that, I met Bob Proctor. And I started with the coachings. Yeah. And today I do these coachings because of the depression that I suffered 10 years ago. Isn't that beautiful how life is just giving you tools to play with?
You are such a help for so many young women. And tell me, what is something that drives you to do this?
Inspiration. I want to be an inspiration because I know how it feels to be inspired. Yeah. I have these people that I follow and they inspire me every single day. Yeah. And it's so powerful to have an inspiration. It's like an inspiration. You are in spirit and you know it's the right thing to do. It's like a feeling and no one can buy this. It's free and available for every one of us. But if you have a platform or you do something that you can inspire other people to be better, become more, do more, isn't that beautiful that you're helping someone else to grow through yourself?
Yeah. Would you say this is the meaning of life?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Is this the reason why you're doing this, coaches?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know that at the end of the tunnel, there is always a different perspective that you can see through your eyes, but from a different perspective. And then the situation is the same, but you change. So the situation just looks different now because you've changed. You're no longer the situation. You outgrew the situation. Yeah. And then you zoom out and you're like, oh, the problem is not that big anymore. And you zoom out again. The problem is even smaller now, I mean, but it's only because you grow apart from the situation. You grow more to something else.
Yes. And I want to talk to you about fear of people.
Mm-hmm.
Did you experience that?
Okay, explain that from your own experience.
Yeah, from my own experience. For example, I am from an Arabic background. I'm half Egyptian. And for me, to take a decision to divorce is something very, very big, you know, because you don't get divorced. It's something so big.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you are from Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
So is this something that's culturally, is it okay to come up with such a decision? Or are you used to stay together no matter what?
Yeah, I understand fighting in a relationship to stay together.
Yeah.
But from all of the respect I have for every religion and every culture, don't forget that you're also human.
Yeah.
And especially woman.
Mm-hmm.
And living by a culture is not living by your true self.
Mm-hmm.
Because a culture is that people have the same mindset.
Yeah.
So it becomes a cultural thing.
Yeah.
But just because it's cultural, so you should not do this because it's shame, haram, right? Yeah, because it's haram. It's haram. What if this situation will bring you cancer and depression into your life?
Yeah.
And other disease. So is it worth it to stay in such a relationship that doesn't make you happy because your inner calling is that big, telling you, you have to move on, you have to go somewhere else. Luck and happiness will find you outside this circle. And nothing, this is also a test, right? It's a test from God as well. It's all, I know that I had a Muslim podcast. Now everything is written, as you say.
Yes.
But what if it's written that you have to go and find someone else to be happy? But you have to open the page. You're not going to go find the book. Yes. Yeah, it says I was married and I had 2 kids and then I was in this relationship, blah, 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 blah. Let's say for a woman. But what if the next page says, and then she divorced? And then she found another man and she was really, really happy.
Would you say divorce is okay just if you feel that it's not right? Or do you think it needs to have a reason?
Yeah, of course. If you go and get married, there must be a big, big reason to file for divorce.
Yeah.
But isn't it a big enough reason if you are not happy for a decade to then file for divorce? I know that we have also like how do you say that, cycles, right?
Yeah.
Hormonic cycles as well.
Yeah.
We're women.
Yeah.
Sometimes today we like something, the next day we don't like it anymore. And that's okay. So you have to analyze, is that a woman's cycle that is putting me in this situation where I want to divorce my husband? Or is it truly a feeling? No, I mean, I never talked about this in a podcast, but let's be honest. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I like my boyfriend, sometimes I don't. I just want to be alone. But that is okay. Yeah. It's okay because a man doesn't have a cycle, but we have hormones. That's so important. So when you make a decision, make it when you're at your best, not when you're at your lowest. Because right before you get your period, you're at your lowest.
Yeah, it should be like for a long time.
It should be a long time. And then you start analyzing the process, and your thoughts and your feelings.
Yeah.
And then at some certain point when you, even if you have eyes for someone else, you're not allowed to say that to your husband. Of course not. But what is this doing with me? Why do I see someone else so attractive now? But actually, I only have eyes for my man. And let's be honest, girls, I know whoever is married, your guy is always looking at the side. It's true. There are 8 billion people out there. I love beautiful people. I love to look at beautiful women, at beautiful men, because I love beautiful people.
Yeah.
And I'm even going to tell my boyfriend, hey, look at this person, how beautiful this person is. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. Because I like to give compliments. Yes. Whatever you give, you also receive. So I want to be in the flow. I'm going to be this person who's always complimenting everyone and everything when I really, truly mean it.
Would this bother you if he looks at another woman?
No, because my self-esteem level from 1 to 10 is 12. Yeah. So you can look at her, you can even do something with her, but if I know, I'm gone, because I have self-respect.
You call yourself the real Mira. Is that right?
Yes, it is right.
So what does it mean for you, the real Mira?
The real Mira came because I had to change my name because of my ex past relationship. I was married and then I had to change it. And it was God given from all the names, Lily. I'm telling you. I asked like a guy to change the name on Instagram and my website. And we went through all the possible names. And then when I'm like, I don't know, God, please help me. And I'm like, okay, just write the real Mira. It's like, it works. And I'm like, no way. Also on social media. And even on social media, everything was like, there was room for this name because it was waiting for me. And through all the stories that I went through and the process that I also had to feel, the real Mira was born because I could find myself in the hardest time to stay true to myself. Yeah. And this is real.
Yeah.
When you're just true to yourself. And I think the real Mira represents just be real. If you are in pain, say you are in pain. If you don't feel good, as I told you, like, oh, today is not so,
Yeah,
but like, yeah, this is real. I can also play like, yeah, I'm very happy and this and that. But no, I'm gonna let you know how I truly feel because I'm in a cycle.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in a cycle, girl.
That's reality.
Yes, that's so real. We should talk about that because then I think you can open up as well. And if they're like topics that are, a little bit confronting each other, it's like, I understand she's going through this, you know, then you understand each other so much better.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think I can put it in some words, but...
Are you thinking of writing a book one day?
Oh, if I ever write a book, the name is going to be Life is a Miracle. And it's going to be the miracle because I really, with every decision, a miracle happened in my life. And I think for you as well.
Yeah.
You made a decision and you're on a higher frequency now. Your vibe so much better than before.
Yeah.
Bad vibration is low vibration.
Yeah.
You make a decision, you want to be happy, you got to be on a better vibration.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah. I mean, so many people, they suffer, they have a trauma, they have a very bad experience, and they get stuck there. It's a decision if you want to take this experience and make something better out of it. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So what do you think makes people get stuck? And what do you think why people get on a higher level after abuse or after a trauma?
It's just a decision. Yeah. Like, there is in German this one expression, ausgeheult. There is just a point in your life where tears are like meaningless anymore. Like how many tears do you have to shed to understand that you have to change your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand you go through pain, but pain becomes with time, personality, and then we have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you're not processing something. You became the person through this process. So you're still in this negative energy, So analyze it, work on that, and make a decision that you don't want to be this person anymore. You want to be someone who's happy, who's joyful, who's helping others to grow.
Yeah.
And then you start a new process, like you plant a new seed and you nourish that seed. And then you become the seed. It's so easy. Yeah. It's like planting. And then the suffering will stop.
Yes.
But it's just this one decision. And this trauma is also a decision. Do I still want to be remembered from all these situations that keep me small? Or will I work on myself, analyze it, reflect it? Why did it happen to me? What was the biggest lesson of every situation and also every trauma? Because there is always a blessing.
What was your worst advice after divorce or before divorce? And what was the best one?
The worst advice was go back to work in the office. That's where I worked before I got married. And I was like 20.
Really?
I'm like, okay, I'm 27 now. Why should I go back? Because of fear, of course. People are fearful. How are you going to do it, with the podcast and influencer marketing, this and that? This world was too new to some people. And the best advice was from myself to myself. Keep going. I swear. It was the best advice. Just keep going and don't stop because the feeling was so big that something bigger is meant to be for me. It's not being in an office because that is in a box, That's how actually people think. in a box.
Yeah.
That's where you're safe. But break through this, and you will see that when you don't have a box, that everything is possible and unlimited. That's where creation begins.
Wow. Do you think it needs a low point in your life to be able to grow?
Oh, yes, definitely. I know that a lot of things will also come my way.
Really?
I mean, looking back now in the last 30 years, okay, I'm happy that it's over. But I also know I'm only 30. Of course, I'm going to be smarter now. I'm going to handle a situation differently. But I don't want to have a flat, boring life. Because if it's flat, there is no life.
Yeah.
Before you die, you need these lines. It's not a straight line. And I want to feel alive. And with every decision, you will always hurt people. You will always sometimes hurt yourself. But if it's for the best, then just go for it.
Yeah. Have there been people in your life that were against divorce?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And I didn't care about their opinion.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm living my life. And, my mom always tells me, whoever you choose, you sleep with him. That means you go to bed with him and you wake up with this person, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that always stayed with me. Like, oh, she was right, actually. So I have to know, where do I feel happy? No one can decide. Like, arranged marriages is also a big topic. I had that previous in a podcast. Arranged marriages means, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You put two people together. Do you want each other? Yes, I like him. And she's going to be like, and he's going to be, I like her. Okay, but what if the backstory behind four walls is the story, you're going to marry this person?
Yeah.
So you're going to put this mask and like, yes, he's nice. So it's not like a forced marriage. It's like free will, like arranged, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I think that we should let people just go and find themselves. And when they find themselves, then they're going to find the right person for themselves. Or if they're also in a process, you're going to find a person who's going to support this process. Because it's like a tool. God gives you the right people on your way, right? And why not, like, filing for divorce? It's not a big deal. I'm telling you, that is just a paper, and your life is going to turn in a different way, but for the best.
But still, so many women choose to stay
because of fear.
That's so interesting.
And don't forget about the financial part as well.
Yeah.
A lot of girls, they don't want to leave because they know, oh, what am I going to do? I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
And he's the,
the financial
bread bringer.
support.
Yeah. So he's going to bring all the money. What am I going to do now? I understand these fears, but if your fears are holding you back to create yourself newly and to just, step up your game. Yeah, why not? That means, okay, I'm going to do anything what is required just to find peace and happiness.
Yeah. But I mean, so many women, they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to get out of this and to have financial safety after they were used for a man to support them.
Start small. There's so many restaurants. You can be a waiter. You can go and clean floors. That's nothing bad about that. If you don't know how, just start small. That's how I thought back then. I'm going to start small if it's necessary.
Yeah.
But I knew that all this experience, all these people I met until the day I filed for divorce, they were helping me to create a bigger vision for myself. But if it was needed, I would definitely go and clean floors or be in McDonald's. There's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah.
As long as you can be like, hey, this is the first step to happiness. This is the first step to, create a new future for myself. There's nothing bad about that. And I'm even going to be the prettiest everywhere I go. Because from head to toe, I'm going to have my full outfit, pretending like it's the best paid job in the world.
The most beautiful McDonald's.
Of course. Yes. Of course I'm working there. All the line and give me tips.
Yeah. So you say this is better for you than to be stuck in an unhappy life.
It's always a choice. Of course.
Yeah.
I don't want to see someone suffering. It's so sad. It's so sad. It makes me so sad that someone is so limited and they don't see behind the walls what is actually waiting for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for my part, I was stuck in a very unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
And I stayed there because of the culture, because of my religious background. And I didn't hear about abuse, emotional abuse. So is this something you heard about it before?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Keep them small, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the main topic in a emotional abused relationship.
Mhm.
Because when someone keeps you small,
Mhm.
that's when he has control over you, right?
Yes, exactly. And it's so hard to find people that understand you because
Mhm.
everyone, if you say that a guy beats you, it's very bad. But emotional abuse is something that so many people didn't hear about. You know, lying, for example, cheating, for example, curse you. So
Why would you allow this to yourself?
exactly. So many people are stuck in such marriages just because of culture and religion. What would you tell these girls?
Wake up. Wake up. I mean, if you cannot even tell your mother that he is beating you up, cursing on you,
Yeah.
giving you all this shit,
Yeah.
that's a major sign to leave this relationship. Because you exactly know if you're going to bring it up to the family's table, they're going to be like, what is your husband doing? Oh, so you actually know in advance the reaction of your relatives and your family members, but you just stay quiet.
Yes.
And that's a major sign where you know that something doesn't feel good.
Yes.
And I think if you are in this relationship, whoever listens to this now, go and see your father and your mother and tell them, because they're going to give you a lot of support, knowing what your husband is doing, and they're going to even pay for the divorce. They're going to be like, how much can I give you so you can leave this person?
Yeah, if
For
they
sure.
are supportive.
If they're supportive. And if not, then I'm so sorry to say, but then your family is not your family.
Yeah.
Then go and seek someone else, your friends, your relatives. And if you don't even have this at home, then do whatever is possible just to leave. Because you cannot change culture. You cannot change religion. I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're having these troubles where you feel like suicide is the only way to go, don't do this to yourself.
Okay.
Life is too beautiful and you know that for yourself.
How would you say, do you discover an unhealthy relationship? And what are some red flags?
Wow, I'm not a relationship advisor, but red flags when someone is not, if you're around someone and you don't feel yourself, or when he criticizes your dreams, that's a red flag.
Yes.
It's a red flag when he's giving you an attitude, but only to you, but not to someone else. And you know that some people, they don't even know this person, but you've seen some sides, and you know, if you bring it up to a table, they would be in shock.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
You know,
So
because
like
that's
double-faced.
Double-faced, yes.
Yeah. He acts someone else in front of people and with you at home, someone else.
And if he gives you the feeling that he possesses you, like who possesses me? No one. I possess myself.
Yeah. It's not healthy.
No, that's not healthy. That's not love.
Yeah.
This is so pitiful that I would love to send this man to therapy. If he thinks, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
the other day I saw a video. Someone forwarded it to me on social media. Like, this is my wife, and I possess her. I care for her. I do this and that, and she's not allowed to travel around the world with her girls. And I'm like, this man needs therapy.
Yeah, very
definitely. So if you want to break someone else's wings and she thinks that this is love, I'm so sorry. This is not love.
Yeah.
This is a low self-esteem, and he has to do a big work on himself to become a real man.
Exactly.
Because that's a child.
Exactly.
Why should I would never limit someone from growing. If I'm in a relationship, I want to be my true self, and I want someone else to be his true self.
Yes.
And together we have freedom to live the life with family and friends, but we have a life together as well.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be only with my partner. The worst thing, what I've experienced, is empty dinner conversations with your husband.
Yeah.
Where you're not talking about anything. It's just like, how was your day? Good. And what did you do? Cleaning? Like this.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so sad.
because you don't have friends. But you need friends to also have inspiration. Like if someone is working on a business, maybe she inspires you to work also something for yourself, to create a small business or a small YouTube channel or whatever, but just to be creative. Like every conversation, there is always something you can learn from.
Do you think we are born for a higher calling?
Everyone has. Okay, I will say that the calling is truly for everyone here, but the question is, can you hear it? Maybe your mind is too loud and you have too many thoughts and you will never hear it.
Yeah.
Or you're not there yet, to calm yourself down. I'm very, very spiritual.
Yeah.
By religion, I am Orthodox. And I still have like a vision for everyone that this inner calling is truly there. But when you calm down, and in the biggest suffering, you will see what is really meant for you and what's not. Yeah.
Do you believe in God?
I do. Oh, I talk to him every day.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I know people pray. They also wash hands and so in the Islamic, religious. And they're not, of course, like other people, just as me, I talk to him every day because he's my business partner, my brother, my mother, my father.
That's sweet.
Yeah, even I ask him for help, like, God, what are we going to do now? Or how did we create this? So I talk to him all the time because he's with me. He's my shadow. He's everywhere I go and see and do. So I'm very connected to him and I'm not ashamed to talk about that. I always mention that in my podcast that we are very connected, God and I.
Wow.
Because I want to tell people like it's not you should be ashamed to talk about this. I don't have to hide to pray.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray right now and I'm going to be like, let's do it all together because yes, he's present.
Yes.
And he can help us to create even more.
Amen. I believe it.
I know you do.
That's so beautiful. Do you think that God was your biggest support?
Oh, yes.
In life's crises?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Wow. Because I remember when I had my gym session and I was laying there like, God, what should I do? Like, give me something that I can have inspiration and like to have the strength to move on, And it was always through him.
Wow.
Yeah, he was always there. And he knows all my secrets. He knows all my thoughts, all my intentions. And, when you have a connection with this realm, then you also see how life is unfolding for you. Because you must be a good person that good things are happening to you. Yeah. I cannot imagine that someone who's a bad person has the best, luckiest life. Maybe yes, for a time, but maybe unhappiness will find him soon because he has to go through this high to then experience the low side of life. Yeah. But if you have like this consistent happiness inside of you and good intention and a good heart, everything just unfolds at the right time.
Everything turns out for your good.
Always. Yes. Always. What you take away from me, it's okay. Something new and better is coming.
That's a growth mindset.
You see, and here we go also with relationships. If a man looks at someone else, he's cheating on you, he's going to leave you. Okay, something else is coming. Exactly. Don't back him.
Yeah. So many people are stuck in their lives because of safety. Yeah. It's just like you don't know the unseen. It needs a lot of courage to go out there and believe that the better is coming. But I can tell you from my experience, there is always better.
You can tell, huh?
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
When I was stuck in my unhealthy marriage, I thought that this is the only person I'm going to love. And this is the only happiness. And it was not. It was not. It was just a damaging marriage. And now looking back, when I put a lot of effort to heal, I can say that there's so much better coming, But you need to have courage because fear is a big part of our brains. We believe we are made to see fear. I mean, if you see a tiger, you're not going to say, wow, what a beautiful animal.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to run away because our brains are wired like this. It's like, oh my God, danger,
Yeah.
So we always see danger, but if we can choose faith over fear, there's a lot of beautiful things can happen.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do that. And now I just wonder, how did you made how did you make this decision for yourself?
For me, it was a very abusive relationship. And it came like a sneak, step by step.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come from the beginning. In the beginning, everything was beautiful and perfect. And everything was like I imagined a marriage to be. And step by step, there was disrespect. And because I come from a very healthy family, I recognized this is disrespect. And I stood up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So by time, very quickly, I was not even married for a year. Very quickly, he started to go away because he felt that this controlling behavior and disrespectful behavior is not possible with me.
Mm-hmm.
I stood up for myself and I said no. And then he started to go away and he started to say, I'm going to leave you. And in the end, he left. I would have not chose him, but he left.
Yeah. But did you have the strength to also end it?
I have to be honest with you. In this moment, I was so manipulated. And I thought I am the reason that all of this is happening because he made me believe this.
Mm-hmm.
Because step by step, he made my self-esteem lower, by manipulation. And because I didn't have the self-esteem that I have now, because I put a lot of effort to heal.
Yeah.
Then I was just living,
Yeah.
And in this moment, I said, I have to go back because I have to make this work, And my Christian belief says, do not divorce. And for me, it was, I have to make this happen. But I felt something is wrong. Mm-hmm. And I prayed to God and I fasted. Believe me, I fasted. And I was like, God, make this work. If you want this to work, make this work. And then it didn't work.
It didn't?
It didn't.
But you prayed for it, but it didn't.
It didn't.
No, it even got worse, right?
It got worse. And then he filed for divorce. And it was the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry also to say this, but...
Yeah, it's freedom.
It's freedom. Because you are so brainwashed that you think this is the best.
I'm so sorry, but not even one paper can put me in a situation where just a signature is needed to be free and myself.
Yes. But emotionally abusive relationships, he doesn't come and say, I'm bad. It comes step by step.
It's like a puzzle.
It's like a
puzzle. And you have to put all the pieces together.
Exactly. So this is something very dangerous. And then to say, no, I'm not going to do this is so important.
But do you see that this happened for a greater good?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's something not so beautiful. I wish it to nobody because it was so painful. And I had also depression and very bad days. Mm-hmm. But I would not be that deep person that I am today and that strong person if I would have not suffered.
Yeah.
Because I was just living. I did HR education and I was like, okay, this is my life. And I always had the feeling I was created for something deeper.
And that's why you're here today.
Yes, that's why I reached out to you because I felt like after this big trauma, I felt like I was created for something bigger.
Yeah.
I was created to change this world and help people. And even though I had fear to come up with my story also, I feel like I do not want to be selfish. I want so many people and women to hear about this and to get help,
Yeah.
So they can reach out to someone that experienced something very similar.
Wow. I think that your story, when you put it in pieces with every podcast that you're going to record, people will dig deeper and deeper and deeper and put all the pieces together then.
I hope
I mean, this is only the surface that you shared with me, I guess.
Yes. It's very surface, yes.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
That everything happened to be so perfect that you're today recording this podcast because of the pain that you suffered and experienced.
Yes, definitely. Even though pain is not something beautiful, but there is beauty in pain.
Yeah.
I believe there is beauty in pain. And also I allowed that God and spirituality and his presence to fill me in times of depression and suffer. And this made me grow. This made me feel like, okay, God is there and he will turn everything for good. Everything will turn out for good. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing this with us.
Thank you. Do you have a motto for your life?
Life is a miracle.
What else?
What else? Yeah, because it is. It is. I appreciate my life. I love my life, and I would never change my life. And I think that I live the best life of all my lives.
Wow. I can see this in your eyes.
Thank you.
Do you think there is one person that is very close to you, the closest?
My best friend.
Okay. Yeah. What's something about her that is so different?
She always needs to have a balance with everyone. And it's like, let this person alone. No, I have to solve it. And I'm like, okay,
it's very social.
This is you, but I do me, you know? But we always learn from each other.
Yeah.
She sets her boundaries maybe 10 days later. I put my boundaries on the first day. I don't know, it's always good. She's a Libra. It's also very important when you're into like signs, Yeah. And I love that about her.
She has a big heart. Yeah.
Very, very big. Yeah.
It also needs people like this,
Yes, and I love her for that. And she teaches me a lot. I teach her a lot. And I think we're very, very compatible.
Wow. That's so beautiful. In 2021, you were traveling around the world. What was something you learned during this time?
It was COVID. I learned that people are full of fear. But I learned that there's a saying in German, die Reisenden sollte man nie stoppen. Never stop a traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, really amen. Because on my way, I discovered so many places and people and everything that just created me back then. It was a healing process. Yeah, to go out there and find yourself.
Yeah.
And I think everyone who's traveling, there is always like something that you have to experience for yourself. It's not just I go traveling, I go 1 week, I don't know, to the Bahamas. Like if you go there, what is that your calling is so strong that you have to go there in order to get this one sentence or this one lesson that can change you for the better. That's how I see it.
Wow. Do you think everyone should travel?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because if you're very narrow-minded, I'm sorry to say that, you're never going to leave your comfort zone. But you have to go out, in my opinion, to see how is life over there and how do people think there. So you can put all this mixes and ingredients of everyone into one and be like, this is the world.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah. It needs also a lot of courage to be by yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they cannot deal to be alone.
True.
They are like, what should I do with myself? Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you feel this?
Yes, I did that. I felt it at some point, but now I love it. Now you have to go through it, and then you will find beauty, how beautiful it is to travel alone, to have a conversation, to be like, now I'm tired, I want to go. You don't have to ask someone else, is it time to go? No, you decide when you want to go. You decide when you get up, what your schedule will be. And this is freedom.
Yeah, it is. So Mira, you live alone, yes?
Yes.
Do you think this is something good?
It's amazing.
Why? What are the good sides and what are the struggles?
The good side is that I put my stuff everywhere where I want in my apartment, and no one has to tell me anything because I know when it's the time to clean. Yeah. I know when it's time to do my laundry. Like yesterday until 12 at night, like I was doing laundry and cleaning because I knew that my schedule for the next following days will be, full.
Yeah.
So I like to have this freedom, and I come into my apartment. I talk to my apartment. Hey, I'm back.
This is Mira. Hello.
Back. Yeah, how was your day?
Back.
It's like, literally, I don't know why I talk to my apartment, but that's the thing that I do.
Yeah.
I can go to sleep. I do my meditation and no one is bothering me. I get up in the morning. No one has to put an alarm because I do it by myself and I know that I'm going to do meditation. It's just like I'm there. and I do yoga in the morning with my mat. And I don't have to ask someone, is it okay if I do this? Because it is okay. I'm alone. Everything I do is okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about being alone. But the disadvantage is when you're sick, let's be real, you need people. You need someone who helps you. And this is where a partnership is very highly appreciated.
Yeah.
So that's why life always teaches me as well, like being alone is not the purpose.
Okay.
There is a purpose to be in a Gemeinschaft, in
a community.
In a community, we need people to be alive and feel alive.
Yeah. So you think it's good for everyone to be alone for a time, but not forever.
Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't see myself living alone forever. Because I want to have kids one day, and I want to have a house full of drama. And people screaming.
Drama, baby.
Yeah, I want that. It has to be alive, because now that I'm so much smarter and wiser, I'm going to laugh at this.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like 10 years, oh my God, we have a crisis. No, it's like, what are the kids saying? They don't want to eat. This plate will stay for 24 hours at the table, and when you're hungry, you can come and eat. Back then, I would be like, oh no, this kid is not eating, This is how I think today that I would do it. But when life hits me, I will see how I'm going to handle this situation. But I want to bring life into a home.
Wow. So do you think we are made to be in a family and have a family?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are definitely. Otherwise, you're lonely.
Yeah.
You have to do it alone. Whatever you do alone, but not lonely.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel lonely. That's not the purpose of life. There are 8 billion people out there. I don't think that we are meant to be lonely.
Yes. Get alone and healthy first.
Yes.
And then get into a relationship and flourish.
Yes.
Yeah. There's something that was very inspiring for me personally when I saw your CV or what you did in your life. So you've been to a school in Niederglatt in Switzerland.
Yes.
And you teached the children to have more self-worth and to believe in their self. So tell us more about this. That's so beautiful.
It's really a long, long story. But what I can tell you is that I saw so many kids struggling with self-esteem from a very young age. And that created not only problems in a classroom, but also they didn't have good marks at school.
Yeah.
Because they didn't believe in themselves. And through these teachings, when I start to dig a little bit deeper into their families, I could see that they don't have an inspiration at home.
Yeah.
And I said at the beginning of the podcast that everything starts home. What you see at home creates your reality, right? And when I noticed that there is so much work to do, I wish that the parents would wake up first and then teach their children, because everything would change.
Yeah.
The marks would change. The classroom in general would change, because every kid has their own struggles, and kids don't understand their language. This one is so weird, but why is he weird? What's going on at this family? It starts right there. And it really helps me to also understand how I'm gonna raise my future children one day.
That's so beautiful. How did this idea come to your mind?
I knew that there is something bigger. Where do you want me to go?
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
It's really like that.
Yeah. It was such a pleasure for me to talk to you.
Likewise. Lily, that was officially your first podcast.
Yeah, it was my first podcast.
Yeah.
And you gave me this opportunity to talk to you, and I'm very thankful for it. You have such an amazing experience.
Thank you so much, Lily, for having me in your podcast. And I can't wait when you release this first episode.
Yeah.
Because I think that you really had good questions, like really, really good questions. And
thank you.
I stand for empowerment as well. And I hope that every woman can just have this, like when they listen to this podcast, there must be this one line that you really connect, you feel connected, and you feel like this is talking to me.
Yes.
And maybe we help them to change their lives for the better.
Amen.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.